Right, we're gonna stay on the topic of, excuse me, people doing things because of my mum. So I had, well, we had a family friend. My mum was very close with this lady, and she had two daughters, and she lived very close to us, like just the next block. And we did things together. We spent Christmases together. I remember this lady taking me on a trip one day to a castle, and we had a picnic, me and her girls. And because the girls were like my age, we kind of clicked, but there was always tension between me and the younger girl, her youngest daughter, and I got on with the oldest daughter quite well. Um, hmm. So I'd moved into one of my properties before this one, and this young lady, I'm gonna tell you the history of this young lady. She hated me. She hated me. She tried to make my life hell. Like, she tried to fight me when we were growing up. She tried to shame me at school. I remember I had like a fake ponytail on once, and she took the ponytail off in front of everyone at school. We went to school together as well. And yeah, she really was quite spiteful when we was growing up. But I'm very resilient, and because she was just there like a family friend, I still saw her as family, just someone that, you know, your horrible cousin that's horrible to you. Yeah. Uh, she came to my new property at the time, and it was like, oh, I want to come around and see you. I was like, okay, that's fine. I thought we were getting on better because at this stage we'd had kids, we were older and things like that. And she would just say like sly remarks. Like, I remember driving up to her home, and I just had like a really decent car. It was, to me, the best car I'd had at the time. And she looked at my car, and she looked at me, and she was just like, oh, it's okay for some people, but girl, you don't know what I had to do to get this car, or how I got this car. You don't know my situation, and why don't I deserve a nice car? You know. But she would do like little sly remarks like that. It was quite petty, actually. But anyway, so she decided she wants to come to my home, and she's bought a cake. Anybody knows me, they know I got a soft spot for cakes, sweets, chocolates. I have a sweet tooth. And remember, she's known me since I was like 9 years old. So she'd known me for a long time. And at this stage, I was in my mid 20s, probably I think I was in my mid 20s. So she's come to my home, she's bought a cake, and oh, this cake looks so good. We're sitting there, we're having cake, and we're having a cup of tea, and we're just talking, chilling, smoking as well, guys. By the way, this girl introduced me to smoking. Yeah. The plot thickens just a little bit, because now I'm seeing it years later how it really is, and it's going to be another story in one of my things. It's kind of like connecting to later on. I'm going to tell you what happened. So she's come to my home, and she bought this cake, and then she left me with the cake because it was my present, but we'd had slices. And then obviously me, my greedy self, buzzing as well, so I've got the munchies. I'm going for this cake thinking like, oh, I'm gonna enjoy this cake. Tell me why. Well, I know why, but I had the cake in my hand, and it was like, it's not like, God flipped the cake, the plate, and the cake went on the floor. Me and my greedy self would have probably thought like, oh, you know, I can save the top of it. It didn't touch the floor. I'm gonna eat it. Every last bit of the glass of the plate went into the cake. It couldn't be saved in any way, shape, or form. God showed me that girl came to my house to poison me. She came to my house to poison me. And he saved me from it. The miracle of God. The miracle of God. I'm not even gonna save it for the next video. Now, because of how I've been attacked over the years, and sometimes I watch a lot of things that help prophetically or whatever, and I have to use my discernment, because you can't just watch these things blindly. You really do have to pray about it. And if it's not for me, God literally tells me straight away, don't listen to that. And there's been some times where I have listened and then I found out very quickly why I wasn't supposed to listen. And it's like, you know, tapping the wrist, girl, I told you not to do that. So this is why now I don't even question God. He really knows the beginning and the end. He knows what's going to happen. And I had said this prayer, and I said to him, could you please reveal to me those that are coming against me, or have come against, or what am I fighting against? That's basically, I remember now. What am I fighting against? Who am I fighting against? And he showed me this young lady and her ex-partner, which was one of her kids' father, and her neighbor, and other people that they were hanging around. They were doing witchcraft on me. So they were practicing on me when we were teenagers. I had some really horrific experience around this girl, and I didn't understand at the time, but now God showed me that's what she'd been doing. I'm just like, I knew she didn't like me, but I didn't know that that's what she was doing. And I remember telling my mum, because at this time, later on, I started speaking to her. You're going to find out why later. But I remember saying to my mum, because I was going through my spiritual journey, my mum was there. And I said, Mum, you never guess what God showed me. Which I know she doesn't believe that God talks to me, but you know what? That's your downfall. I said, God showed me, I'm not going to mention names, but she showed me this person, that person, and this person. And she was like, oh, don't worry about it. And she just brushed it off. They were working coincide. Like, guys, there's been so many people come against me, and God is literally revealing them one by one later on. And the reason he's revealing it to me now is, one, I'm praying on it and I'm stronger to handle it. But if he'd showed me all this in the past, yeah, they would have got their way and I would have gone crazy. I would have gone crazy, because not only did I find out that nobody loved me, nobody liked me. I was a big target to a lot of people. I'm like, no, come on, this is pathetic. But he revealed it and I received it. Bye, guys.